What's up guys? Today I'm going to show you how I built this rustic reclaimed looking blanket ladder. If you're thinking about buying one of these, they range from $40 to $300. Yes, $300. But you can build your own just like I did for only $5 and a little bit of elbow grease. Since my girlfriend and I have started living together, there's just one small problem that needs solving. Blankets. So many blankets. Of course. They're everywhere. Are you kidding me?
Sorry!
It was starting to get out of control. I started by putting my idea in SketchUp. I use this program now for all my woodworking projects. It's just so convenient to see things in 3D space and edit them in real time. The design is simple. It's one 2x4 ripped in half and two 3/4 inch dowels cut down to 14-inch lengths. The dowels will sit half an inch into the sides, giving me an overall width of 16 inches, which is a perfect size for where we decided to put in our living room. Once I was happy with the result, I made a cutting list and headed out to the garage. The 2x4 gets cut down to 68 inches. That'll make it 5 feet 6 inches tall once it's leaning against the wall. You can make yours taller or shorter depending on your own preferences. I ripped the 2x4 right down the middle, giving me two pieces with a width of 1 3/4 inches. Then I set my fence to 1.5 inches and took off the rounded edges. So essentially, I ended up with two 2x2s with square corners. From there, I cut the dowels to a rough length of just over 14 inches. Then came back and cut them to their final 14-inch length all at the same time. This took patience, and I had to double check one end, making sure they were all flush before cutting the other. It worked out well though. It gave me 5 equal length dowels. With the ladder leaning, I wanted to make sure that the feet were parallel to the ground. I also wanted the back part that touches the wall to be parallel against the wall. This is one of many ways why SketchUp comes in handy. I drew a line from the feet that ran on the horizontal plane, and then I was able to use the compass tool to measure the angle. 78 degrees, perfect. Although miter saws don't cut 78-degree angles, they do cut 12-degree angles. So I set the miter saw to 12 degrees and cut both boards at the same time. This way I'm certain that both feet have the exact same cut. I flipped the board around and made the same cuts where the ladder would be touching the wall. This gave me two perfect perpendicular cuts. Drilling the holes was a bit tricky. I needed to make sure they were the exact same distance from the top, that way the dowels would stay level. So I measured 2.5 inches from the top and made a mark. Then I made 4 more marks every 10 inches from that one. I came back with the tape measure and punched a hole in the center of the board where those marks were. This gave my drill bit a place to start from and basically eliminated wandering. I also taped half an inch up the drill bit. That gave me a good reference to ensure every hole had the same depth. I very lightly sanded the boards with 120 grit paper. I wanted to keep the saw blade marks as well as the other little imperfections. In my opinion, they make the shelf look more rustic/reclaimed. I did a dry test fit to ensure everything lined up and looked good. Then everything received 2 coats of Varathane's aged wood accelerator. I find myself using this stuff more often than not. After one coat, it comes out a light gray that actually looks weathered. A second coat makes it a bit darker shade of gray, but still looks really nice. Once you add a few coats of satin polyacrylic, it really darkens it up and makes it look unique. I added 3 coats of polyacrylic in total, sanding with 220 grit between each one. After it cured overnight, I lightly sanded it with 600 grit to give it a really smooth feel. The last thing I had to do was add the feet. I picked up these self-adhesive vinyl furniture protectors from Home Depot for $2. They work well, but since they're light duty, I added a dab of super glue to make them less likely to fall off over time. I also added some at the back so the wood won't damage or scrape the wall. At first I was unsure how I felt about the ladder, but after having it sit in our living room for a few days, it kinda grew on me. I'm super pleased with how it turned out. I'm very happy that all my measurements in SketchUp worked out. The feet are parallel to the ground, the back is parallel to the wall, and is 56 inches tall. I hope you liked this video. A subscription or thumbs up would go a long way to helping out this channel grow, especially since it's brand new. Thanks for watching. Look at this guy. Trying to film here, bro. What? Yes, you're a good boy.